Listen, if you're trying to build a micro SaaS or a mobile app, just give me 10 minutes and I'm going to walk you through how I've made my own mobile app from no experience right from the beginning to now putting it onto the App Store to get my first paying users. Over the past 3 months, I've been making an app. It's quite a complicated one using just AI. I haven't used any tools, any other tools apart from just AI. I haven't wrote a single line of code myself, and we're ready, just about to publish. We've put it into Android, put it into test flight, and it's about to be published. But even though it took me 3 months, if I knew what I knew now, I reckon I could do it in 30 days. And that's why I believe you can do it in 30 days as well. All it takes is 30 days and a couple bucks a month to be able to upkeep the back end and then also the application to actually code itself, the AI. Nowadays, people believe you need a big team and you need software engineers, but that's just not the case anymore. Times are changing, and mobile apps and SaaS, creating software itself, is becoming the new dropshipping. It's becoming the new SMMA marketing. So if you get in now, you're going to get in such a great time, and it's going to explode. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go on to Loom. I'm going to show you a bit about some of the stuff that I've been doing, how I've done it, sort of from the beginning and then to the end. Right, guys, now we're just going to go into the sort of PowerPoint I've made about micro SaaS and app building. So it's going to follow sort of what I've been following and how I've made my app. So let's get into this. So first off, one of the main things is you don't want to get stuck on brainstorming ideas. Okay, what happens is a lot of people all the time will say they want to do something, they want to start something, start an app, but they just get stuck on an idea. The best thing you can do is just get started. There's sort of two ways you can do this. Is copy ideas, so sort of Cow AI. It's a calorie tracker, and there's tons of calorie trackers out there on the App Store. But the good thing about Cow AI is they made it so you can use AI to scan your food, and that means it made a huge difference. It's a lot easier to count your calories that way. But on the App Store and on ads on Instagram, all I see is more calorie AI trackers just doing the exact same thing as Cow AI. And these people are getting sales. I mean, I look at their comments and they're getting sales from it. People enjoy it. They don't realize Cow AI is there, so they're just going for this sort of clone, if you would like. So in terms of copying ideas, it's a good way because it means that idea is already validated. Also, they typically have a huge market because if loads of people are making that sort of app, a lot of people could be the end user for that. Also, you can add your own feature or a change to make your difference. Cow AI, so for example, MyFitnessPal, they had that calorie tracking, but Cow AI added their little difference, well, big difference if you like, which is AI calorie tracking. Take a picture of your food. So that big difference is what made them sort of that market leader in that sense. Also, you can tell it's a working strategy. The good thing about this is that you can copy their sort of ad, the way they do their ads, influencer marketing. It's something that they really went big on, and you don't really see other people do it, but now you do because Cow AI went so big. Also, they went big just on TikTok trends, again with the influencer marketing and the gym scene. They realized that and they capitalized on that. Also, the other one is solving a problem. So when we look at Twitter, the problem people were having were that they were just watching porn. So they made Twitter to help people track that and sort of feel guilty about it in a way. But that's sort of the route that I took creating my app. And the good thing about this is, well, probably bad thing is you have to validate it yourself. You could look at it from both ways. You can get a lot of market research from Reddit. You can speak to the target audience. So let's say you're doing a football app, you can do sort of interviews with people that enjoy football, speak to your friends that enjoy football. Would you use this? Maybe post it on Reddit. You can sort of mix the two. Also, you can use AI tools such as Google Trends that allows you to sort of look up keywords, maybe look up trends, see if they actually are trending, see on a graph, and you can sort of see if it's getting popular or maybe if it's not popular. For example, Christmas. If you see on Google Trends, type in the keyword Christmas, towards the end of the year, the graph will just be going up and up, and it'll say how many people are searching for that sort of topic. Additionally, go onto TikTok trends. You know, a lot of people were, there's an app called Looks Maxing. A lot of people were maybe insecure about how they looked, and Umax capitalized on that, and they sort of made an app to go along with that trend, and they made a lot of money in the process. But the sort of approach that I took was solving a problem. My app is a sort of a sports app, but it's never really been done before, and it has some features in there which I'm gonna have to make another video going fully into it when it fully releases, and we've never seen on any other apps before, and it solves a big problem in the sport that we have made it in. But hopefully we'll be able to show you that soon. So going on to how I built it. So now I'm going to move on to how I actually built the app, and sort of this is what you can copy with just the software that I did use. So first off, I use Cursor AI. It's super powerful tool. It's the code editor, and it also has the AI in there, so you can see the code in real time and then speak with the agent to edit that code and see what you want doing to that app. It's really good because you can make mobile apps from this. You can tend to make a mobile app using, for example, React Native code, and you can also use it to make web apps and websites. So it's quite powerful. It's a broad sort of, you can use it to make all sorts of applications compared to maybe Lovable, which it's a bit more tough. You can't really do mobile apps on Lovable, but web apps and sort of SaaS you can do on there, which is quite good. Also, Supabase, that's what I use for my whole back end. So Cursor and Supabase sort of connected, and everything, all the data that gets put into my app. So, for example, names, emails, not passwords or anything like that, but well, they would be in there. But all sorts of data would go into that back end, and then they connect each other up basically. The good thing about Cursor is it will talk you through Supabase on how to connect it up, what you need, and also it will put in sort of commands that you can put into Supabase to create the tables, so you don't need to do anything on Supabase yourself. You can take screenshots of pages, take screenshots of terminals, and you can just put it right into the agent and it will know what to do. Additionally, I use sort of social media, and that's a good way to do market research, brainstorm ideas, which is key if you're making an app. It's also really good for the marketing side of stuff because we can catch on to sort of trends. We can also use it for organic views, and what we're doing now is our app's about the fastest growing sport in the world right now, and that's a really good time that we're getting in at this, because that means we can catch along that trend. You know, we can be one of them early adopters into that sort of niche. But it's sort of what we're building is such a specialist thing. It's in the sense of like no one's really done it before, and it just solves a massive problem, and people would probably pay for this because it solves that problem. But then it's such a really cool feature in it, which I just want to tell you guys. But until I make a video sort of going over it, I would love to. But also planning, just take some notes, go on a whiteboard, just brainstorm everything. That's what I did, and I have 3 whiteboards just to my right. And the good thing about this is you can just write everything. Don't want to forget it, and you just put in ideas. Make something that's, you know, innovative. Like you want to create something that's new that will make you stand out. Also, make an MVP, maybe a mock-up, and you can just sort of use that to get started and create more ideas. Next is the marketing. Reddit right now is just blowing up for startups. You can find people in similar niche and use it for networking. TikTok is also a great way for organic views and to catch on trends. What I was saying before, if you're getting at the right time, one video can change your app and get you thousands of users from a million views just with one video. YouTube is a great way from a SaaS perspective, so you can create content on your SaaS. You can build a community really well and sort of just have that brand initiative, which I've actually seen with an app called CodeSpring. They've been posting on there a lot, and they've grown massively. Also, influencer marketing, Cow AI, that's what they used and what made them go so viral. It can be cheaper in some sort of way, and then also it can attract very high quality leads in that certain niche, and it's less salesy because the people are already interested in that you can sort of put that ad in there a bit easier. But just get started before you regret it. In 10 weeks, you'll be like, I wish I started 10 weeks ago. Just do it. But also, one thing to consider is make a waiting list. I've seen so much success for people creating startups and apps. Make a waiting list. It's a good way to validate the idea. Hopefully, I've given you guys a bit of some information that you might need, but in the following videos, I'm going to go a bit more in depth about my app and some other things. So if you need anything, put it in the comments and we can go through it. Thank you guys.